Most people believe they have a clear image of what China looks like. They picture bustling urban centers filled with towering skyscrapers, vibrant markets, and crowded streets alive with activity. Yet, beyond these metropolitan landscapes lie vast regions that remain largely unseen and often unheard of by the majority of travelers and even many locals. These remote areas harbor ancient remnants, hidden civilizations, and breathtaking scenery that seem almost otherworldly in their beauty and mystery. Among these extraordinary places are ancient temples meticulously constructed on the steep slopes of rugged cliffs. These sacred sites are nestled high in isolated mountain ranges, places where entire civilizations once thrived in seclusion, their stories faded into legend. The landscapes here resemble scenes from another planet, vast, surreal, and wild, offering a stark contrast to the modern images most associate with China. This is a different China, a version that the world has almost forgotten, where clouds grow sparse and the sky seems to stretch endlessly down to meet the earth. At the very peak of one such mountain, a golden temple rises majestically, as if it had been placed there by the heavens themselves. This is the mountain of Laojun, a place steeped in legend and spiritual significance. According to ancient tales, over 2,000 years ago, Laozi, the legendary sage and founder of Daoism, came to this remote sanctuary in search of tranquility. His purpose was not to escape the world but to rise above its noise and chaos, seeking harmony and solitude. To reach the temple, visitors must ascend a winding path marked by 99 turns, an obstacle that tests not only physical strength but also patience and humility. This journey serves as a quiet reminder that true wisdom is found through perseverance and inner balance. The ascent is more than a physical challenge. It embodies the Daoist philosophy that harmony with nature is achieved by moving in tune with its rhythms instead of resisting them. When you reach an altitude of over 2,000 meters, the world below gradually falls away, leaving only profound silence and a sense of timeless serenity. The temple itself was restored during the Ming and Qing dynasties, and it harmonizes perfectly with the mountain's raw energy, following ancient principles of feng shui that emphasize balance and flow. Even today, pilgrims travel here not solely for the breathtaking views but for the profound sense of connection and introspection that the site inspires. Standing amidst this sacred space, where philosophy seems to touch the sky, many find it easy to believe that truth resides somewhere beyond the clouds, in the realm of higher understanding. Further afield, amidst precipitous cliffs, lies a narrow pathway clinging to a rugged rock face, known as the Cave of Connectivity. Its route is woven through thin wooden bridges and steps carved centuries ago, symbolizing centuries of devotion. This is Magia Mountain, or the Mountain of Wheat Stalks, so named because of its rounded, grain-like shape. Within its contours, a remarkable history has been etched, over 7,000 sculptures carved directly into the stone since the 4th century. These artworks, crafted from wooden frameworks covered with clay and painstakingly shaped, depict a vast array of figures, from tiny Buddha statues no larger than a palm to towering giants reaching 16 meters in height. Each figure tells a story, an intricate narrative woven from influences of Gandharan art from India, Persian elegance, and Chinese realism, shaped by the historic trade route known as the Silk Road. Unlike the austere stone Buddhas of Longmen or Yungang, these sculptures possess a delicate grace, a lifelike charm that lends them a more human and accessible quality. Over 12 dynasties, Magia Mountain became a sacred sanctuary for spiritual seekers, a place where faith and art intertwined. Every cave captures a unique moment in the evolution of Chinese religious thought, yet all serve a common purpose, guiding the soul inward towards silence and enlightenment. Built into a crevice within the mountain, the site has endured earthquakes, imperial upheavals, and the passage of centuries, yet it remains standing as more than mere art. It is a form of meditation carved into the very bones of the mountain, a silent testament to the enduring pursuit of spiritual harmony. Perched atop a slender spire, shrouded in drifting clouds, stands one of the most awe-inspiring and remote temples in China. This is the Guan Yin Temple, constructed during the Ming Dynasty at an elevation of approximately 5,250 feet above sea level. Dedicated to the Bodhisattva of compassion, the temple's position offers a vantage point where the divine and the earthly seem to converge. The summit itself is too narrow to accommodate anything beyond a space for prayer and reflection, emphasizing its purpose as a sanctuary for quiet meditation. Here, amid the mist and the silence, visitors experience a profound sense of reverence, a reminder that sometimes the most sacred moments are found in the simplest acts of devotion. In these remote, sacred places, whether perched atop lofty mountains or nestled within rugged cliffs, China reveals a different face. It is a land where spirituality, history, and nature enter. There is no traditional road leading to this place, only a steep ascent that challenges the determined traveler, a rugged wooden bridge, and a quiet resolve to reach the destination. As the journey progresses, the sounds of music fade into the background, replaced by the hum of anticipation and reverence. The local inhabitants hold a deep belief that the prayers they lift here ascend directly toward the heavens, soaring high into the vast, open sky. Standing so close to the clouds, with the azure expanse stretching endlessly above, it becomes almost impossible to deny the spiritual significance of this place. The grandeur of the landscape lends itself to this conviction. It feels as if the divine is within reach, just beyond the veil of the atmosphere. Initially, the scene appears as a flowing crimson wave, an undulating sea of rooftops crafted from weathered wood, winding through a mountain valley lush with greenery and interrupted only by the rhythmic echo of distant bells. Thousands of humble dwellings, built with simple materials, seem to spill across the terrain like a living, breathing tapestry. Yet, this is not a city in the conventional sense. It is Lung Ga, the largest Tibetan Buddhist monastery complex in the world. Nestled at an altitude of 4,000 meters above sea level, within the remote county of Sirta in Sichuan province. Once, it was home to tens of thousands of monks and nuns who dedicated their lives to meditation, study, and spiritual practice in peaceful seclusion. The entire settlement is meticulously divided into male and female sections, each enclosed within its own sacred boundaries. The community is self-contained with its monasteries, temples, libraries, and even designated areas for cremation, all carefully arranged to preserve the sanctity and discipline of daily life. This spiritual enclave was established during the resurgence of Tibetan Buddhism following the tumultuous period of the Cultural Revolution, a time when faith gradually reawakened amidst the mountains and valleys. The revival marked a new chapter for the tradition, fostering a renewed sense of purpose and devotion among its followers. At the heart of this spiritual revival is the Nyingma school, one of the oldest and most revered lineages within Tibetan Buddhism. Its teachings continue to play a central role in shaping the religious life of the community. The vivid red roofs, vibrant and striking against the mountain backdrop, symbolize purity, humility, and unwavering focus, values deeply embedded in the monastic ethos. The color red serves as a visual reminder of spiritual discipline and the pursuit of enlightenment, anchoring the monastery's identity amidst the sweeping natural landscape. For many years, the existence of Lung Ga remained a closely guarded secret, hidden from the outside world. Few outsiders knew of its existence or its spiritual significance. Nevertheless, life within its walls persisted quietly and purposefully, calm, steady, and unwavering in its intent. The rhythms of daily life here are governed by discipline, devotion, and a collective belief that sustains the community. Such a life, rooted in spiritual dedication rather than material pursuits, remains a rare sight in today's fast-paced and often superficial modern world. Here, people live not for themselves alone but for a purpose greater than individual existence, serving the path of enlightenment and the collective awakening of their spiritual community. Moving beyond Lung Ga, one encounters Fanshan Mountain, revered as one of China's 5 sacred Buddhist peaks. Long regarded as a gateway bridging the earthly realm and the divine, this mountain holds a mystical allure rooted in centuries of spiritual tradition. Its most iconic feature is the summit known as the Crimson Clouds, an awe-inspiring place where 2 temples perch precariously atop towering, jagged rocks over 2,300 meters above sea level. These temples are believed to be dedicated to different enlightened beings, one to Maitreya Buddha, the future Buddha of compassion, and the other to Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha himself. Connecting these 2 sacred sites is a narrow stone bridge, suspended between the towering spires, which seems to hang in the air, an architectural marvel that embodies the delicate balance between earth and sky. The very name Fanshan derives from Fantian Jingu, translating roughly as pure land of Brahma, emphasizing its spiritual significance. According to tradition, The mountain's summit is destined to become the site of Maitreya Buddha's future enlightenment, a prophecy that imbues the place with profound hope and expectation. For generations, pilgrims have ascended this daunting climb, motivated not only by the breathtaking views but also by the symbolic meaning embedded in the ascent. Each step upward embodies themes of balance, renewal, and spiritual elevation, an act of devotion that transcends the physical journey. The dramatic split of the mountain's peak into two distinct paths reflects core Buddhist principles of duality, two ways of being, two states of existence, yet unified by a sacred purpose. The ascent symbolizes striving toward harmony amid dichotomy, unity amid separation, and the pursuit of enlightenment amid worldly distractions. Even in contemporary times, enveloped in swirling mists and embraced by the vast sky, Fanshan Mountain remains a living emblem of dedication and spiritual. There are no myths to guide you, no signs to read, only the subtle pull of a place that seems deliberately rooted in a world filled with questions. In the remote mountains of Gansu, a fortress lies hidden from most eyes, even those living nearby. This octagonal stronghold, known as the Han Gua Fortress, derives its name from its distinctive shape, a rare architectural anomaly in Chinese history, characterized by its eight-sided form. Its origins are shrouded in mystery. Some believe it was constructed during the Tang dynasty, or perhaps at the dawn of the Song dynasty, yet its true purpose remains uncertain. Speculation abounds. Some suggest it served as a defensive outpost, a strategic military installation designed to protect the region from invasions. Others interpret the structure's design and location as indicative of spiritual significance, possibly linked to Tibetan Buddhist traditions that have long influenced the area. The fortress's position itself tells a story, situated at the crossroads of Han Chinese and Tibetan cultural zones, where military tactics often intertwined with religious practices and spiritual life. Within the weathered walls lie the ruins of stupas and temples, remnants that hint at a purpose far beyond mere defense. The octagonal layout might reflect Tibetan cosmology, where the eight directions symbolize balance and harmony, suggesting a sacred dimension to the fortress's architecture. There are no signs, no tourist paths, only the faint outlines of a forgotten structure that continues to silently connect history, culture, and faith. This silent monument invites exploration, beginning at the foot of a towering cliff face. Ascending a path paved with 2,500 metallic steps embedded into the bare rock, one rises through clouds and silence. Until the year 2016, this was the only way in or out, simple vine-covered staircases that swayed at an altitude of 1,400 meters. For centuries, they served as the sole passage, each step leading deeper into the Dalian Mountains and further away from the world below. Along the way, travelers pass grazing goats, fields of scattered corn, and nothing else. No roads, no signs, only stones, the wind, and the heavy anticipation of what lies ahead. Suddenly, almost without warning, the rugged terrain levels out, revealing a small village nestled into the mountain slope. Here, the Ye people have lived in isolation for centuries, their existence preserved in quiet traditions. Their language, clothing, and spiritual practices, rooted in shamanism and deep reverence for the land, persist in daily life. This place was never meant to be discovered, yet, once you arrive, you understand why they have chosen to remain hidden, disconnected from the rush of the outside world. Manually carved over more than 13 centuries, the rice terraces of Yuanyang cascade down the mountainside like ripples across water, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. Built by the Han people, these terraces stretch for kilometers, forming a complex agricultural mosaic that relies on gravity-fed spring water and the collective wisdom passed through countless generations. The UNESCO World Heritage Site embodies a living landscape, a vibrant, ever-changing tapestry of color and form. As the sunlight shifts, the terraces shift in hue, golden, green, and shimmering, creating a dynamic mosaic that stands apart from ordinary rice paddies. Their design embodies a worldview rooted in Han cosmology, animism, and the traditional beliefs of the Funu people, influencing how the land is shaped and how life unfolds within it. These terraces are not merely fields, they are a living reflection of spiritual harmony, a testament to the enduring relationship between humans and the natural world. In a harmonious convergence of life and landscape, ducks, fish, snails, and rice thrive side by side, forming a vibrant ecosystem that sustains both the mountain's natural beauty and the people who call it home. This scene stands as a quiet testament to human ingenuity and the delicate balance achieved when human activity and nature coexist in mutual harmony. The entire place seems almost dreamlike, as if it were painted from memory, capturing a timeless serenity that feels both familiar and otherworldly. Among the gentle ripples of water and lush greenery, boats drift lazily across expansive lotus fields, their movement slow and effortless, while narrow footpaths meander above tranquil waters, connecting islands dotted with blooming flowers. Towering peaks cast long shadows over the verdant landscape, their silhouettes rising majestically against the sky, creating an impression of quiet grandeur. The earth here remains peaceful, yet it is never truly still. Beneath its calm exterior, subtle movements and life pulses continually, revealing the constant rhythm of nature's enduring dance. A gentle breeze softly stirs the bamboo groves, causing their slender stalks to sway rhythmically, while reflections shimmer and ripple with each passing boat, adding a shimmering, transient quality to the scene. Just beyond the rocky outcrops, a modest village begins to emerge from behind the natural barriers, a hidden sanctuary that seems almost concealed from the world. This is the legendary Shenlong Dong, the Cave of the Immortals, a place steeped in myth and history. Partially constructed from ancient stone, it once served as a refuge for hermits and ascetics seeking solitude beyond the reach of civilization. Today, a few families continue to inhabit these quiet halls, cultivating rice fields and herbs as if untouched by the relentless march of time, preserving a way of life that feels suspended in eternity. Such a place embodies the very essence of what the immortals might have left behind, an untouched sanctuary of tranquility and reverence. Some locations evoke an almost surreal quality, appearing too fantastical, too perfectly balanced, to be real. The Valley of Immortal Reflection, or Wan Shang Nong, is one such realm. Here, towering granite spires rise like ancient watchtowers, their formidable forms piercing through the mist that weaves lazily among the treetops. Pathways cling tenuously to the steep slopes of rocky cliffs, winding their way through the landscape, while waterfalls cascade into serene pools below, their waters collecting in precisely the right spots to mirror the sky and the surrounding greenery. It's easy to believe that this valley was deliberately crafted by some higher design rather than shaped solely by the forces of erosion. In Chinese cultural tradition, places like this transcend mere beauty. They hold spiritual significance, embodying the eternal concept of Jin Jing, the realm of the immortals often depicted in Daoist texts and classical paintings. Beyond this region, such melodies and atmospheres remain largely unknown, yet for those who venture into this wilderness on foot, it becomes something profoundly different, an inward journey rather than just a physical walk. The valley's quiet vitality persists even as night falls, transforming into a different kind of life. Lanterns cast a gentle glow, their flickering light drawing the eye and creating a warm, human atmosphere amid the darkness. Movement stirs within this nocturnal stillness, filling the space with a sense of life that feels both intimate and timeless. Despite its apparent otherworldliness, there is an unmistakable human touch in the way the scene unfolds, an echo of life's persistence amid silence. This landscape bears a striking resemblance to the rugged terrains of the mountain ranges known as Haidong or Black Dush, volcanic formations situated within the Kai Dam Basin. These landscapes have been shaped over millions of years by flowing lava and tectonic shifts, resulting in jagged, silent expanses that seem to be Mars brought to Earth. Often called the Mars of Earth, this terrain offers no water, no lush vegetation, only black ridges scarred by wind and time, their stark forms whispering stories of geological upheaval. Scientists come here to test cutting-edge rover technology, while filmmakers seek its profound silence for cinematic inspiration. Few travelers manage to reach these remote, desolate places, yet their existence serves as a quiet reminder of the extraordinary extremes of China's natural beauty. Not every wonder of nature is lush and bustling. Some are vast, silent, and nearly forgotten. Locations like Haidashan embody the raw, unfiltered essence of the earth, where emptiness is not absence but a canvas, an integral part of the landscape itself. Here, the barren and the beautiful merge into a raw, authentic, and utterly alive environment, an untouched testament to the planet's silent, enduring power and mystery. The Kaichu Pool is an environment that embodies more than mere silence and stone. It is a place that resonates with a quiet, almost mystical stillness. As you continue to walk forward along its edge, the ground beneath your feet begins to shimmer gently, not with life itself, but with something that closely resembles it, an elusive, luminous quality that hints at deeper mysteries. This shimmering effect draws your gaze across the landscape, inviting contemplation of its subtle, almost otherworldly beauty. This is Jade Lake, a breathtaking mosaic of emerald and turquoise saltwater pools, meticulously arranged in a patchwork that appears both serene and vibrant. These pools are remarkably tranquil, their surfaces often undisturbed, reflecting the sky above with startling clarity. The luminous hues are not the result of natural artistry alone but are shaped by human activity, salt extraction that has transformed the landscape into a living masterpiece. The colors shift and change in response to the sun's position, the mineral content of the water, and even the presence of microscopic bacteria thriving beneath the surface, each factor contributing to the ever-evolving palette of this extraordinary sight. The landscape, altered by human hands, takes on an almost divine quality, becoming a living testament to both natural processes and human ingenuity. Beyond this tranquil tableau, a more volatile and unpredictable environment unfolds. A place where nature's raw power manifests in spectacular fashion. Here stands the Akan Spring, often called the Devil's Eye, a boiling sulfur spring that emits water of a vivid crimson hue. From the Earth's depths, gases hiss and bubble, creating a spectacle of fiery steam and crackling sounds. Rings of heat-loving bacteria paint the surrounding terrain with bright, vivid stripes, adding a surreal, almost kaleidoscopic dimension to the scene. The air is thick with the scent of minerals, a sharp, invigorating aroma that hints at the intense geological activity beneath. The ground itself appears unstable, trembling with the energy of ongoing subterranean processes. Scientists are drawn to this site, eager to study these extreme environments, a natural laboratory that offers insights into conditions that challenge the limits of life. The local inhabitants, however, regard this area with reverence and caution. Some believe that the spring's volatile nature is not merely a hazard but a warning, a reminder of the unpredictable and often dangerous power of the earth itself. This landscape resembles a painting, yet it is undeniably real, etched into the fabric of the planet not by brushstrokes but by the relentless passage of time. The formation known as Jangya Danchansia has taken shape over an astonishing 24 million years, as layers of sandstone and mineral deposits accumulated, then fractured and folded into undulating waves. Iron oxide has given the ridges a deep red hue, while other minerals have added stripes of yellow, blue, and gray, creating a tapestry of color that seems almost surreal in its complexity. Wind and rain have sculpted this terrain further, eroding and refining its features into the iconic formations we see today. This rainbow-hued mountain stands as one of China's most distinctive natural landmarks, part of a rare and perilous terrain found exclusively within its borders. While other regions may boast vibrant colors, none display the layered, textured, and silent grandeur of this place with such intensity and scale. It is a landscape of extraordinary beauty and profound geological history, a true testament to the Earth's creative chaos. In the heart of the Gobi Desert, amidst golden dunes that stretch endlessly in all directions, lies an object that seems almost too perfect to be real. Crescent Lake, with its dark blue waters curving gracefully amid the sands, appears as a rare jewel in this vast, arid expanse. This oasis has maintained its shape for over 2,000 years, a persistent symbol of resilience amid the relentless desert winds. Despite the harsh environment, the water never diminishes, sustained by a discreet underground spring that feeds it from beneath the surface. Nearby, a modest pavilion, once a tranquil refuge for travelers along the ancient Silk Road, stands quietly, its presence a reminder of human history intertwined with this rugged landscape. Here, silence and faith meet in a peaceful coexistence, as the surrounding sands drift and swirl around the structure. Even today, tall reeds grow along its edges, swaying gently in the breeze, their rustling adding to the serenity of the scene. Crescent Lake remains a silent emblem of endurance, balancing the extreme dryness and instability of its surroundings with an enduring sense of calm and stability, a miracle of survival in the most unforgiving environment. On the opposite bank of a river in Sichuan province stands the colossal Buddha of Lushan, a figure carved directly into the cliff face, exuding serenity and watchfulness. With arms resting calmly on its lap and a gaze that seems to observe both the flowing water and the pilgrims who visit, the statue has stood for more than a millennium. Its towering height of approximately 71 meters makes it the largest stone Buddha in the world, a testament to the craftsmanship and spiritual devotion of those who created it. The carving of this magnificent statue took nearly 90 years. Nestled at the confluence of three mighty rivers, this site was originally constructed with the purpose of calming the dangerous currents that roiled through the waters. Remarkably, it succeeded in fulfilling that vital role. Even today, the essence of this place remains rooted in the harmonious convergence of faith, nature, and human willpower, a union that continues to bring serenity and stability to those who come under its spiritual influence. In this sacred spot, the mountains and the deeper meaning of existence become inseparably intertwined, forming a unity that transcends mere geography. As a local saying beautifully encapsulates, Buddha is the mountain, and the mountain is Buddha, emphasizing the profound spiritual connection between the natural landscape and the enlightened mind. Along the banks of the Yi River, not far from the town of Luoyang, lies the famous Longmen Grottoes, an extraordinary sanctuary housing over 100,000 Buddhist sculptures and images. These artworks range from towering Buddhas, measuring up to 17 meters in height, to delicate, intricate figurines that are only a few centimeters tall. The creation of these sculptures began in the year 493 of the Common Era, during the rule of the Northern Wei dynasty, and continued over several centuries, reflecting a vast and ongoing artistic endeavor. Among the most renowned of these is the 17-meter-high statue of the Vairocana Buddha, commissioned during the reign of Empress Wu Zetian, the only woman to ever hold the title of emperor in Chinese history. Some scholars suggest that her regal image served as the inspiration for the serene, commanding face of the Buddha, embodying a blend of tranquility, authority, and regal dignity. The Longmen Grottoes are home to more than 2,300 caves and niches, carved into sheer cliffs adorned with inscriptions, prayers, and intricate carvings that trace the evolution of Buddhist art through centuries of development. These sacred caves reflect a fusion of Indian influences and distinctly Chinese stylistic elements, illustrating how religious devotion and political power were intertwined. Created within a Confucian cultural environment, these grottoes served not only as religious sites but also as symbols of imperial authority. They utilized faith and artistic expression as tools to project power, fostering a sense of order and spiritual unity across the realm. Today, Longmen remains one of China's most impressive stone archives, a masterpiece of faith, ambition, and artistic achievement. Even now, the faces carved into the rocky outcrops gaze silently across the ages, worn by time yet still speaking through the enduring stone, whispering stories of devotion, power, and cultural aspiration. In the fertile lands of Kaiping, more than 1,800 fortified towers stand sentinel across the landscape. These structures, known as diaolo, are part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site and represent one of China's most extraordinary architectural legacies. Erected during the late Qing dynasty and the early Republican period, these towers were built by Chinese families returning from Southeast Asia and the Americas. At a time when concrete was a rare commodity, these towers boldly rose with Roman-style columns, domed Baroque roofs, and traditional Chinese eaves, blending global architectural ideas with local cultural values. They served as homes, watchtowers, and symbols of wealth, not for display or vanity, but as embodiments of deeply rooted Confucian principles. Each tower reflected a commitment to family protection, respect for ancestors, and the strengthening of local communities. This period was one of rapid transformation in China, marked by a confluence of tradition and modernity. Within this dynamic context, migration, contemporary influences, defense, and age-old customs collided and coalesced, giving rise to something entirely new and unprecedented in Chinese history. No other region within China or across the world exhibits such a vast scale of historical depth intertwined with cultural synthesis. Deep in the mountains of Fujian province, massive earthen structures known as tulo rise like fortress-like dwellings, some round, others square. These traditional communal homes were built centuries ago by the Hakka people as fortified residences for entire clans. Constructed from compacted earth, stone, and wood, they were designed to withstand both external attacks and the relentless passage of time, serving as secure havens for generations of families and their communities. These robust structures stand as enduring symbols of resilience, unity, and the ingenuity of a people who built their homes not only for shelter but also for the preservation of their collective identity amid a landscape of constant change. Some of these structures, constructed over 5 levels with a single main entrance, have the capacity to accommodate up to 800 individuals. Within their walls, there are no windows on the lower floors, a deliberate design choice that embodies a sense of security woven into the very architecture itself. Inside, life takes on a distinctly collective character. Each family inhabits a vertical sector of equal size and rights, forming a harmonious community where individual and group coexistence is seamlessly integrated. These spaces reflect ideals of organized chaos, harmony, hierarchy, and shared living, all intricately embedded into the very fabric of the walls surrounding them. The atmosphere within begins softly, reminiscent of the gentle melting of glaciers high in the mountains of Qinghai, far to the west. As the river meanders eastward, it transforms, growing deeper, darker, and more powerful, carrying not only water but also the history and spirit of an entire civilization. This is the Yellow River, known as the cradle of Chinese civilization, a vital artery that nourished the earliest cities and shaped the rise and fall of dynasties. Its whispering flows echo through ancient poetry and carve their impressions into the peaks and valleys of the mountains, whispering tales of creation and chaos. For more than 5,000 years, it has been revered as Mother River, not because it is gentle, but because it breathes life into the land amid tumult and upheaval. Its floods have toppled empires, its fertile banks have sustained civilizations, and its very spirit has become woven into the earth itself. Today, the Yellow River continues to connect many of China's most ancient sites, temples, caves, sacred peaks, forming a continuous thread of memory beneath stones and soil. To truly grasp its formidable power, one must witness where it roars most fiercely. That place is Hukou Waterfall, where the river crashes into the rocks with a thunderous force that echoes like a storm, pounding the earth beneath. The name, meaning teapot nipple, evokes the image of water pouring down from the sky, as if the river itself descends from the heavens. Yet, it is not only water that falls here, it is the land bearing the weight of centuries. The river, laden with fine silt carried by the wind from distant uplands, colors the waters, shades that shift with the seasons. During flood times, the cascade can expand from 20 to 50 meters wide, always with relentless power and vitality. In the remote corners of Hunan province, the terrain rises not in mountains but in towering columns of stone. These slender, needle-like spires stretch hundreds of meters into the sky, shrouded in mist, creating a landscape that seems both surreal and otherworldly. Known as the Zhangjiajie Forest, these quartz sandstone pillars have been sculpted over centuries by wind, rain, and time itself. Their striking forms inspired something far beyond their natural origins, namely, the floating mountains seen in the film Avatar. Standing amidst the fog and sheer cliffs, it becomes easy to understand why these formations evoke a sense of wonder. Long before Hollywood brought their image to a global audience, Zhangjiajie existed in Chinese imagination as the realm of Shanjina, an immortal land from Daoist legends. In art, myth, and now in reality, these towering spires symbolize an escape from gravity, noise, and the mundane world below. A place where one can drift into dreams, never quite fully leaving. This landscape is not merely a destination but a place to experience a different realm, an invitation to explore the extraordinary. As you venture into this world, you discover that it is a realm where natural beauty and legend intertwine, offering an escape from the familiar and a glimpse into the sublime. Embrace the journey, for there is always more to uncover beyond the horizon. Until our next adventure, let the spirit of these wonders inspire your curiosity and sense of discovery.